The forest does not forget. It does not forgive. Deep in its rotting heart, something moves. Something wrong. Princess Shilah was once human, once loved. But the forest changed her. Twisted her. Now, her golden fur glows like a dying ember beneath the gnarled branches. Her eyes catch the light, hollow and haunted. She does not belong to the world beyond these trees. And yet, it comes for her. One night, the scent of blood and metal slithers through the air. Hunters. Greedy. Merciless. Their boots crush bones hidden beneath the leaves. They whisper of a rare, mythical beast, unaware that the real nightmare is already watching them. Shilah moves. The shadows move with her. The hunters hear nothing. Not at first. Then, a breath too close. A snap of a twig. A low, guttural growl that doesn't belong to anything living. Their torches flicker. Their hands tighten around their weapons. But it won't save them. Shilah lets them see her. Just for a moment. Eyes gleaming. A mouth not quite human. They run. But the forest does not let them go. A voice rises from the darkness, thick with rotten time. The forest head. It speaks of betrayal, of abandonment, of the truth Shilah has buried deep in her bones. She was cast away, left to the hunger of the trees. And now, she is their hunger. The hunters return, armed with steel, fire, and foolishness. They think they will capture the beast. They think they will leave the forest alive. Shilah welcomes them. The trees groan as roots coil around their ankles. The air thickens, heavy with the stench of decay. Eyes blink open in the bark. The forest is awake now. The first scream is swallowed by the night. Then another. And another. By dawn, there is nothing left of them. Only the trees. And when the wind howls through their twisted limbs, it almost sounds like voices, begging. Shilah listens. And she waits. Because the forest is always hungry. And more will come. The battle is over. The screams have faded. The forest stands untouched, as if nothing ever happened. But the earth tells another story, shattered weapons, torn cloth, deep claw marks in the soil. The air is thick, stagnant. Waiting. Nothing dares move. Nothing dares breathe. Because the forest is not finished yet. The trees are speaking. Their voices rise and fall, threading through the air like unseen fingers. They whisper her name. Over and over. Shilah tilts her head, listening. These voices do not belong to the living. One of them still breathes. A lone hunter, stumbling through the trees, torch flickering in his trembling hands. He doesn't look back. He should have. The shadows stretch, shifting just beyond sight. The trees lean closer. A whisper brushes against his ear. Then silence. She stands high above the trees, overlooking her domain. The forest bows before her, whispering its secrets, its hunger. Her golden fur is no longer untouched, streaks of black slither across it, twisting like veins of ink. The change is spreading. She is no longer just a guardian. She is something else. The hunter's camp still stands, but it is wrong. The tents sag, covered in creeping moss. Their weapons are rusted, their footprints half buried in the earth. The fire pit is cold. Yet, the ashes stir. As if something unseen has passed through. Time does not move normally here. They come at dusk. Figures, blurred, shifting, walking in endless procession through the trees. Their eyes are hollow. Their mouths move, but no sound escapes. The forest does not let them go. It never does. At first, there are only a few. Glowing eyes peering from the darkness. Then more. Dozens. Hundreds. Watching. Unmoving. Unblinking. Shilah feels their gaze burrow into her skin. And for the first time, she wonders if she is still herself. The voice calls her name. Not a whisper. Not a thought. A force. Deep as the roots beneath her feet, old as the bones buried in the soil. She closes her eyes. She listens. And she understands. She kneels beside a black pool, staring at her own reflection. It stares back. But it is not her. Not anymore. The reflection smiles before she does. The ground splits. Roots rise from the darkness, twisting like skeletal fingers. Mist seeps from the fissure, curling into the air, thick and suffocating. Something buried is waking up. And it is hungry. Shilah stands at the center. Two forces coil around her, one of shadow, one of light. The whispers of the trees grow desperate. She must choose. But what if she never had a choice at all? The forest is silent. A figure stands in the mist, watching. It looks like Shilah. But it is not. Not anymore. The cycle begins again. The choice was never hers. She stands where the roots split the earth, her golden fur now streaked with black, her eyes no longer her own. The whispers have quieted. The forest has what it wanted. But something is wrong. Shilah turns, searching the trees, waiting for the comfort of the voices that once cradled her in their lullabies of power and purpose. There is only silence. She steps forward, but the ground does not welcome her. The roots do not shift beneath her feet. The forest no longer reaches for her. She is alone. Her home, the one place she belonged, has taken everything from her, even herself. She is not its guardian. She is not its queen. She is just another ghost now, wandering through the mist. In the forest. The forest does not remember the names of the ones it keeps. She gets what she thought she wanted, only to realize she has lost everything. The forest has consumed her, not as a ruler, but as just another forgotten soul. The forest does not sleep. Shilah is gone now, lost to the roots and the whispers. Her name fades like a dying ember, forgotten by the trees she once called home. But the cycle does not end. Far beyond the mist, at the forest's edge, a flickering light appears, a torch. Footsteps crunch against dead leaves. A voice, uncertain, calls out into the dark. Someone new has entered the forest. The trees shift. The wind stirs. The eyes begin to open once more. And somewhere, in the depths of the woods, something unseen begins to smile.